You're about to listen to an excerpt of Secret City Geek Lab broadcast on KTSTFM.com every Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. For more news, reviews, and interviews from the world of geek, visit the Geek Lab at secretcitycomedy.com/geeklab or like us on Facebook at facebook.com/secretcity. Enjoy the show.
Liam Neeson, action star at 61 years old. How do you feel tonight?
I feel 38.
Good. You look 38.
Thank you.
You look 36, sir.
Good lights.
Yeah. This is now this was your second outing with JAMA,
Third.
and this you just did a third, right?
Yeah. We just finished the third. Yeah.
Talk to me about the relationship you have with JAMA and how that really added to making Nonstop a success.
He's a terrific director. We just finished the third film, and we have a shorthand language with each other. You know, it's very easy to work with. I think he thinks I'm very easy to work with. So something just works. You know, I totally trust him, and he's clever, and he's great with these thrillers. He likes Alfred Hitchcock, and there's more than a nod to Alfred Hitchcock in this film.
Making this movie in one location, one big metal tube for about 95% of the movie, was that difficult?
It wasn't. It was nice to come to one set every day. It was controlled. Didn't have to worry about the elements.
They will haunt my dreams.
I loved being with the cast, and they were there every day. So it was a joy to come to work, and because it was shot in New York, I live in New York, so it was great to sleep in your own bed at night.
Another repeat would be working with Julianne Moore. This is the second go around
second
with her.
time.
How is that getting back with her?
Oh, I love Julianne. She's one of our great actresses. Delight to be with. Funny. Just a superb actress. She raises your bar, you know? She raises your game.
And beautiful, too.
And beautiful. Not too shabby looking.
What can audiences expect from Nonstop? What can they expect to see?
I think a real good classic whodunit. There's certainly a few thrills and spills, and it keeps you guessing.
Are you excited to be here tonight?
Yeah, it's always nice to be in LA, right?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
of course. Especially when it's 110 degrees.
That's right. It's chilly tonight, though. I'm cold. Yeah.
So this is the second time you've worked with Mr. Liam.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
What brought you back? Tell me about that relationship.
I love him. He's a great actor, a great person. He's so fun to be with, and I think that it's so. People are always asking me why do I think why do audiences respond to Liam as an action figure, and I think it's because he has such integrity as an actor and as a person, and so much humanity that to see someone like that play an action hero, I think really excites everybody.
What was it like shooting in one location?
Fantastic. I loved it. It was like, I was 25 minutes away from my house. We were not weather dependent. I always knew where I was going. I always knew where I was sitting. I loved it. I'm an indoor girl, not an outdoor girl. I like it on the inside. Yeah.
And what can audiences expect from Nonstop?
I hope they have a lot of fun. I think it's really, really entertaining, and it moves very quickly.
Well, I co-wrote.
Hold on 1 second, I'm sorry. Right? Okay. So you co-wrote Nonstop. Who was your partner on that?
Chris Roach, who is probably around here somewhere. I haven't seen him yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the inspiration for Nonstop?
We originally wanted to do like something that could be done, in a contained environment, something that just focused on cinema as opposed to, big explosions and things like that. We wanted to do kind of a 1970s style suspense thriller, really. I mean, it was sort of, we wanted to be Hitchcockian, but we also wanted to take a lot from, the sort of paranoid suspense thriller. Not really a disaster film, but one of those movies where you don't know who's on your side and who's not. And everyone's always in doubt the entire movie.
Right. And so, but you do have some explosions in there.
There are some, yeah. I mean,
in
you got to throw a couple in there, and you know, we've seen the movie, and they're really intense. Like, the director did a great job. Like, you really feel like you're on the plane.
Was Liam always the first choice?
I believe he was. We frankly originally wrote him as a younger character, but then when we met with the guys that were going to make the movie, they instantly thought maybe we could go older, and I think they always had Liam in mind because they worked with him on Unknown before, and he obviously was perfect for this kind of thing.
How hard is it to write a movie that takes place in one location?
That was really hard, especially because we didn't want to do the thing where he was hanging on the wing or climbing through air vents, or we didn't want it to be like Die Hard on a plane. So we just wanted to keep it relatable, like that part of the plane that everybody's been to, you know, that everyone can relate to, and it was a huge challenge figuring out how to sustain the tone and the momentum of the story for a couple hours in that environment.
Right. Have you seen a cut yet?
Yeah, we saw a cut back in November, and I would say it was about 90% finished, and it was really, I mean, I was blown away.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it was, we were both like hanging on to the arms of our chairs, like they made some subtle changes since then, but it was, and finished some effect shots, but I mean, I couldn't have been more impressed with it, yeah.
What can audiences expect with Nonstop?
A lot of suspense, nail biting. If they don't like flying, it's going to be really intense for them. There's actually some humor that comes kind of out of nowhere, just because Liam is such a likable actor, and audiences love him. So it's going to be, I mean, it's...
Maybe not an in-flight movie in the future?
I'm not thinking it's going to be an in-flight movie like Airplane when they're watching the plane crash in the background. No, it's not going to be like that. But it's really suspenseful. It's a nail-biter.
How's it going, man?
You excited to be here tonight?
I'm so excited. The movie is so good. It's really good.
For a movie that takes place in one location, you were kind of removed a little bit. There was one big plane, and you were stuck in a smaller room.
Someone had to fly that plane. Someone has to land that plane. Do they land it? Who knows?
What was it like? What was it like making this movie?
It was so much fun. I know Julianne. I live in New York City, so it's fun to see all those actors that are New York based as well, and then add Michelle to the mix. And to be in there, even though I was in the cockpit for most of the time, I did get to go back into the cabins a bit and make fun with them. It was just really good actors having a great time, and the director is phenomenal. What he comes with on the moment, I think you'll see, if you haven't seen it tonight, you'll see that it's a real suspense the whole way, whodunit at 40,000 feet. And Liam is, of course, just heaven.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. When people think of Michelle Dockery, they think of Downton Abbey.
Yes.
When people think of Downton Abbey, they don't think about Nonstop.
No.
Talk to me about that. What inspired you to take this role on?
I loved the script. The opportunity to work with Liam was just a huge thing for me. It was a departure from what I'd been doing before, so it was fun to do something else. As much as I love going back to play Mary, it was different for me, and that's what drew me to the role. And the script is brilliant. It's like a fantastic murder mystery all set on a plane. I mean, it's amazing.
Great, thank you so much.
I'm so sorry, I gotta grab her for a cash shot.
Thank you. You as well as sorry, the guy who plays Kyle.
Jason Butler Harner.
Jason Butler Harner.
The wonderful Jason Butler Harner.
You were locked away in a smaller room in this large metal tube that everybody else was stuck on.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, it was great, actually. I mean, how many times we all got on an aeroplane and wonder, you know, what's it like for those guys who actually are responsible for all our lives? And so we actually had a consultant there who was a pilot, and he kind of talked us through it all, and I just felt very grateful that it was all pretend.
Did it feel natural at all, running those controls?
No, because they didn't really work, and all we looked at was a blue screen. You know, didn't see anything out there, and we weren't 30,000 feet in the air. So
you're really flying.
You don't want me.
5-minute movie.
You don't want me flying a plane for you.
The end.
Yeah.
How was it? I mean, working with Jama. I know you were so
He's
removed,
great.
But
he's a wonderful director because I mean, look, it's an action movie, but he allows actors the chance to create and be free. And we did lots of improvising and tried to find a bit of humor and a bit of fun inside of it. I don't know how much of that has ended up in the movie, but he's a very creative guy. He knows what he wants, and you can relax. As an actor, you can relax with someone like that.
What are you expecting from Nonstop?
A thrill ride with Liam at the helm.
This was quite a challenge, making Nonstop.
Yes.
One location, one big metal tube,
Yes.
and a feature-length film. How do you make that interesting?
It's a long answer, but it really all starts from the script and the character. Make sure that the audience knows what the stakes are and really like the main character, and then you use some tricks, like constantly, even though it's one set, you change the environment by changing the lighting, changing the camera style, and so the audience doesn't feel like, oh, I'm doing the same scene again, like something is different. And a plane changes environments because, people go to sleep, so it's more quiet, people wake up, suddenly it's daylight, all that kind of stuff, and I think that keeping that in a very fast pace, make sure that the audience stays with you.
Shooting one set, one same group of people
Yes.
every day for months on end.
Mm-hmm.
That was a new experience for you.
It was a new experience, I think, for everybody, because usually actors leave, they come back to their scene, but here we had 200 extras and all the actors that needed to be there every day. Some actors were sitting on their chairs for a month before they even had a scene, and then they had to get ready for that one particular scene, and then they become active in the story, if you will, and some did their scenes in the beginning and then they had to sit there for 2 months,
Yeah.
So, but I think the actors really had some downtime, as it happens in movies, and they all got to really become friends, and became a family more so than in a normal movie where it's more fragmented.
This is your second go-around with Liam Neeson.
Yeah, I've done 3, but
And
that's the
you
second
just
one.
did
Yeah.
a third.
Yeah.
Can you talk a bit about that relationship and why that works so well with making Nonstop?
After a movie, if it goes well, I mean, you're always open to working with people that you have a good experience with. If it's a photographer, production designer, makeup artist, then sometimes it happens with actors as well. And what happens with that is that there's trust that you've already built from a previous film, and also there's a shorthand, and you can probably relax and have a bit more fun, because I was more intimidated the first time that I was directing Liam after having done a movie and having that been successful. You can enjoy the process more.
And there's a trust. There's a level of trust.
There's a level of trust, and I think that we our process is very similar. We just like to do it. We don't like to talk about a lot of stuff. I just set the camera and he does it, and that's it. And what else are you gonna do?
What can audience expect when they go to see Nonstop?
I think you're right. It's a thrill ride, edge of your seat, and I think it's a smart movie, and it has some humor, as well, which in a thriller it's always very helpful to break the tension. But I think people are going to enjoy it.
This was a production of Secret City Geek Lab on KTSTFM.com. We broadcast every Wednesday at 7 o'clock p.m. Visit the Geek Lab at secretcitycomedy.com/geeklab or like us on Facebook at facebook.com/secretcity.